This is the videotaped deposition of Orin Snyder in the matter of Damiano versus Sony Music and Bob Dylan. Today's date is May 29th, 1996, and the time is 11:57 a.m. This recording is taking place at 9606 Santa Monica Boulevard in Beverly Hills, California. My name is Jeff Minger, a notary public in the state of California. I represent Kearns & Gradillis Video Services, located at 9320 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, California. This deposition is being videotaped on behalf of the plaintiff. I am neither counsel for, employed by, or related to any party in this action, nor am I interested in the outcome thereof. Counsel, please introduce yourselves and state your appearances.
Stephen Kramer for the plaintiff.
Orin Snyder for the defendants.
We're on the record. Would the court reporter please swear in the witness?
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the following deposition shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Schneider, by whom are you employed?
Lookout Management?
Okay, and are you the custodian of records?
Yes.
With regard to the subpoena?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and did you personally search for the records?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's mark as Exhibit 1 the subpoena served on Lookout. Are you represented by anyone here today?
Yes, Orin Snyder.
Is he your attorney today?
Yes.
I'm the attorney for Lookout Management.
For Lookout Management, not my personal attorney.
All right, would you be kind enough to look at the subpoena? I think you have a copy in front of
Yes.
you. Okay, item number 1A, all documents that refer to any suits against Dylan. Have you produced any documents responsive to 1A?
We don't have any documents.
Number 1, all documents that refer to the unit sales of albums released by Dylan.
We don't have any documents pertaining to that as well.
And what did you do to search to see if you had any?
I have a listing of files. We have 2 boxes of Dylan files, which were in our storage locker. And I went to the storage locker with another person in our office, brought the 2 boxes back, and with the subpoena went through the boxes and pulled the pertaining files.
Okay, you said you had a list of files pertaining to Dylan?
Well, pertaining to everybody. We keep a list of all the files that are put in our storage unit so that if we do ever need to pull them, we can do so.
So does the list just say Dylan as opposed to something more specific?
No, it specifically lists each file in each box.
Okay. Okay. And so how long is the Dylan list? Is it 1 page, 2 pages?
There's 2 pages, there's 2 boxes. A large size box and a small one.
Okay, and do you have that list with you today?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's back at your office? Okay. Counsel, I'd like that faxed here because otherwise we're just going to have to serve them with another subpoena because I want to satisfy myself that since there is a list of files, I want to see the list.
Well, that wasn't requested in the subpoena.
I'm not saying it was or wasn't. I'm saying that we can either bring her back and I'll have her served this afternoon, I assure you, and I'm sure you don't doubt that, or we can just get it faxed and get this over with.
And what is it that you want?
Ms. Schneider, I indicated that there's a 2-page list of files pertaining to Mr. Dylan that correspond to the files that are in the 2 boxes that are kept in storage.
I'm not sure you're entitled to see that. I think you're entitled to see what's relevant to the lawsuit, and what if there's an item on there that has nothing to do with this lawsuit, a file that has to do with his...
Well, you can look at it first. You can look at it first.
Maybe I'm just not sure that's proper. Why don't you question the witness about what file she searched for these items? If you have a specific request, I assume you put it in the subpoena. I'm not sure what you want other than to have access to descriptions of files which have nothing to do with this case. You
Well,
can
that's
ask her
why
what file she searched to look for these items, and I believe she's prepared to answer that.
Yeah, I'm sure she is. But that's not my question.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, given the fact that there's a list of files,
Mm-hmm.
it may be, and it may be totally innocent on her part, that she looked at a file folder on the list, not thinking it was responsive, and again, completely innocently, but in fact, it may be responsive, even though it's not apparent on the face of it.
Well, I think
And therefore, what I'm suggesting is I'm prepared to have you look at it first, so that if you think there's anything in there that's personal or, totally not discoverable, then I'm sure you'll exercise your proper attorney obligations and redact that.
Well, we would object to producing you with an inventory of the files, which is what I believe she's described it to be. So, at the end of the deposition, we can have that faxed here, and I'm not sure really what you're getting at.
Well, I'm not getting at anything. What I'm saying is if you look at the file list, there may be items on the list that she wouldn't know are responsive, but you and I might.
Well, why don't you inquire of her and we'll see. Maybe I think that Ms. Schneider, as the custodian of records, is on top of what the files consist of, and if you inquire, she'll probably tell us what she did to search them and satisfy us all that she's done what was necessary. If you have a remaining question, then we can take it up at that point. Why don't we find out what she did to look for these records?
Okay.
And if there's a remaining concern, then we can take it up at that time.
Okay. Ms. Schneider, would it be fair to state that you did not literally go through each and every piece of paper in each and every folder?
I did not go through each and every piece of paper, but I did pull out every folder that I thought pertained to what I was subpoenaed for. And I did go through several folders. I did go through both boxes.
Okay. Roughly, how many folders are in the two boxes? 50, 60 folders?
Gosh, to be real honest with you, I don't know. It's a large legal size file, the standard file folder box, and a small one, which is actually a copy machine paper box.
Okay.
So.
But you didn't go through the contents of each and every folder?
I did go through, did a perfunctory. I did not go through, relating to the specifics, such as the tour files, I did go through each and every piece of paper in all of our tour files in those boxes.
Okay, so would it be fair to state that you relied on the label that's on the folder to see if it was responsive?
Yes.
All right, again, I reiterate my request that the list be faxed here.
Mr. Kramer, I don't know why you are entitled to get a inventory describing the labels on each of the folders. Ms. Schneider has testified that she went through each folder, and I believe she inquired
testified
further.
to the opposite.
No, each folder that pertained.
She just testified that her search through the contents of each folder was, to quote her, perfunctory.
Right, but she testified that when there was a folder label that, to her mind, related to the subject matter of any of your requests, she went through document by document, which should more than satisfy you. And she did say that she went through each folder label to determine whether that folder might contain responsive documents.
But what I am getting at, and let me see if I can get at it by rephrasing it, there may be a folder, since she didn't go through each and every folder, and she just confirmed that.
She didn't go through each and every document contained in each and every folder. She testified that she looked at the labels on each folder. When a label appeared to contain documents related to one of the requests, she went through that folder document by document.
Right, we're in agreement on what she did.
So I don't know what more you want.
What I want is what I think I'm entitled to, and that is that since she did not go through each and every folder to see if there were documents that could have been misfiled, that could have been, she is relying on somebody putting a label on a folder.
Why don't you ask her who put the label on the folder?
Okay. Did you put the labels on each and every folder, ma'am?
The majority of the files, yes, I did.
But that's not what I asked you. Read back the question.
Question, did you put the labels on each and every folder, ma'am?
No.
And therefore, since you did not look through the contents of each and every folder, you relied on what someone else determined the folder should be labeled.
Yes.
Right. So that if someone determined that that folder should be labeled XYZ, and in fact it contained a document responsive to this subpoena, and it wasn't apparent on the label that it was responsive, you would have skipped that folder.
Well,
True?
it's hard for me to say. I'd say that this subpoena is fairly straightforward in the documents it requested. And I did look for any documents that were requested on the subpoena.
Okay, now would you answer my question?
Yes.
The answer to my question is yes.
Yes.
Okay. And yes being that you did not, yes being that you did rely on someone
Yes.
else's
I relied on the labels of the
determination.
files.
Right,
Yes.
okay, I understand. And I'm not criticizing.
Oh, I'm not taking
Okay,
it as a criticism.
Okay, all right. But what I'm getting at, counsel, is that given what she says, it's plain as the nose on my face that I'm entitled to look at, I think I'm entitled to look at every folder after you look at them to pull out anything that you feel is not responsive, because she has made it crystal clear now, after repeated questioning, that she did not go through, even though there's just 2 boxes, and I would dare say probably no more than 4 or 5 dozen folders, she did not go through every folder.
You're characterizing the woman, you're characterizing facts which haven't been testified to. She's a custodian of records. Why don't you just, I don't know what you're doing here, Mr. Kramer. Why don't we ask, you should ask her what she did to look for the documents. What did she produce? You haven't even looked at the documents yet, frankly. And you have not subpoenaed an inventory of all Bob Dylan files at Lookup Management. If you had, we wouldn't have produced such an inventory because that would clearly be overbroad. You're not entitled to see a description of all Bob Dylan files at Lookup Management. What you're entitled to do is subpoena documents, have them be produced, and then question the witness about what she did, how she went about producing them, what she looked for, what she searched for. She's testified that she made a very diligent search looking through the boxes, she's entitled to rely on the filing system, which in large part she constructed, and rely on the labeling of file folders. And I just think we're wasting time here. Why don't we just ask her what she did to search for the documents, and then go on. If you want to make a request that the inventory be produced, serve a subpoena asking for the inventory, or make the request to me, and I'll take it under advisement. But
I've made the request.
Okay, well, I'm taking it under advisement. I mean, you haven't subpoenaed an inventory. You're not entitled to an inventory. You're entitled to relevant documents, and then you're entitled to ask this witness about the manner by which she searched for and then produced the relevant documents. You're not entitled to more than that. You know that.
Is this witness subjecting herself to the jurisdiction of the New Jersey court?
Subjecting? I don't know what you're asking.
Well, this is an issue that we had raised at the outset.
Yeah, I think we'd agree that if there are discovery disputes, we could take them to Judge Rosen.
Okay, sure. I just wanted to make sure that was the case. Okay.
But she's testified that she labeled most of the folders, she relied on those labels, and she looked document by document through the folders that, according to her labels, appeared relevant. I don't know what more you can ask from a custodian.
A lot. Okay, so with regard to number 1, Ms. Schneider, there are no documents responsive to that.
No, they're not.
And that would include any publishing records that would refer to unit sales?
We didn't handle any of the albums. We were strictly dealing with Mr. Dylan on a tour basis.
I see.
So all of our business with Mr. Dylan was related to his tours.
I see. Thank you. Okay. Number 2, all documents that refer to the itinerary of Dylan in 1988 regarding concerts.
That has been produced.
You have produced those?
Yes.
And looking at the first page, and we can have these marked in a second, I noticed that the last date of a concert for 1988 is August 6th. Is that because there were no concerts of Mr. Dylan after that?
To the best of my knowledge, yes. That would be the end of the itinerary.
Okay, number number 3, all documents that refer to Dylan's schedule for the years 1980 to 1995.
We do not have those documents. We don't have a schedule for Mr. Dillon in terms. It was my understanding that this was a diary, and we did not have that.
Well, who told you that it was asking for a diary?
Well, that's my reading of that it's a schedule, and we did not keep a schedule other than concert dates.
All right. Well, did you search to determine whether there were any documents in Mr. Dillon, in Mr. Did you back on? Did you determine whether Mr. Roberts' schedule referred to any appearances or any activities of Mr. Dillon?
No.
You didn't make that determination. You did look, did you?
No.
Okay. I request that a search be made of Mr. Roberts' personal calendar or business calendar, whatever he uses for his professional activities for those years, to determine if they refer in any way to any schedule concerning Mr. Dillon for any professional activities.
Well, any professional activities, and the scope of the years is absurd. I mean, the 95 has nothing to do with this case. 94 has nothing to do with this case. Mr. Dillon wrote every song in question well before any of those later years. So,
well, I don't need you to tell me what's absurd or what not, counsel. Believe me, I don't need you to tell me that, all right? If you want to raise an objection, put an objection, take it under advisement, or whatever, okay? All right? Okay, so if you don't want to produce it, let me know by the end of the day, and I will.
Make
well,
a
the man's
motion.
the man's already under subpoena.
Yeah, he's under subpoena.
Okay. So if you don't want to produce the documents
If they're
now, and you want to put me through that effort, then fine, then do that.
We'll produce records during the time frame that we've agreed is the relevant time frame.
Well, the agreed time period was 1980 at least through 1992. So I'm asking you to have those documents searched and to produce them if they refer in any way to Mr. Dillon's professional schedule.
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay. And when may I have them?
I have to talk to my client. I don't know where. Mr. Roberts is not in town. He's not scheduled to be in town for a few days. I don't know, A, whether he has a personal calendar relating to his client's professional activities. B, if he does, where it is. So I can't answer that. But I'll make the inquiry after the deposition today, and I'll let you know by the close of business tomorrow when we'll be able to respond. Okay.
Ms. Schneider, what is your position at Lookout?
I am Elliot Roberts' assistant.
Okay, and how long have you had that position?
That position since October of this year.
Of 95?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, of 95, yeah.
Okay, and were you employed by Lookout prior to that?
Yes.
In what position?
I was assistant to Frank Gironda, and also initially assistant to Frank Gironda and Jeff Kramer when he worked for the company.
Okay, and could you spell Gironda so it's taken down?
Gironda.
And what was Mr. Gironda's position?
He was a manager, a personal manager in the office who worked for Elliot.
Okay. Did he have any duties with regard to Mr. Dillon, to your knowledge?
Yes.
He did? Mm-hmm. Okay, and is he still with Mr. Roberts?
Yes, he is.
Have you ever seen Mr. Roberts' appointment book, what it looks like?
Yes, I keep it.
You keep it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you have since October of 95?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And have you ever seen his appointment books for any years prior to that, for any reason having to go back and check
Certainly.
a date or something like that?
Certainly.
Okay. And where are they kept?
Well, we keep, when it's a current year, they're kept on the assistant's desk, on my desk. Then we, at the end of the year, we generally keep them through probably the following year in the office, and then they are shipped to our business managers for tax purposes. And how long they keep on them, I have no idea.
Okay, and who is the business manager now?
Jenkins Financial, Paige Jenkins.
The name of the firm is Page Jenkins?
The name of the firm is Jenkins Financial.
And where are they located?
In Beverly Hills.
And Mr. Page Jenkins is your contact there?
Yes.
And how long has Jenkins been the business manager for Lookout?
I honestly don't know, but it has been 6 or 7 years at least. I would guess.
Okay. I understand you won't, many of the answers you won't be able to be totally precise, and I understand. Okay. All right. Would you be kind enough to tell me what documents, and I'll put them back in front of you, Ms. Schneider, that you produced today are responsive to category number 2?
Category number 2. Oh, this is the itinerary that we had in the files for his 1988 dates. So they are all responsive to that category.
So, just so I'm clear, 100% of the documents that you produced today are responsive to item number 2?
Yes.
Okay. And you have not produced any documents, I take it because you did not locate any for any of the other items?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's mark those, please, as composite exhibit. Lookout 1.
Number 2?
Number 2, I'm sorry. Thank you. Again, looking at the first page, are you 100% sure that there were no Dylan personal appearances in which he performed music after August
6th.
6th, 1988?
100% no, I'm not.
Okay. And how would you make yourself 100% sure?
Are you asking about, I don't have an objection, because if you're asking her about...
I would request that if someone is going to say something that we have another mic handed to them so that
Well, my partner just
it
was...
doesn't look like it's...
My partner was just...
he was saying something, and
Saying
he's
something
allowed to
to
say
me.
something, but I would
But
like
it was-
it on the record.
Well, it was designed for my ear, I believe, so
Oh.
he apologizes, and I apologize if we disrupted the flow, but I object because this witness is a custodian, and certainly she's here at your pleasure to answer questions about documents she searched and the methodology she employed in searching for and producing documents, but I don't believe she's here to answer substantive questions about Mr. Dillon's tour.
Wasn't meant to be a substantive question. I'll rephrase it. All I'm asking, Ms. Schneider, is you've indicated, and I understand, that you're not 100% sure that he made no 1988 post-August 6 appearances. Is that correct?
I'm going to object to that, and if you want to ask her, are there other documents that
I'm
she saw?
about to get to that. Why don't you just...
You're asking me. I'm going to object to that question because it doesn't pertain to...
So all the stipulation that you used to remind me of, that we don't object unless it's privileged, only applies when you're asking the questions? Is that it?
Come on,
Well,
Steve.
explain
Steve,
that to me.
Steve, we're here
All
with the
right, so if
custodian.
you're,
and
so
we're-
if you're
okay,
going
I'll
to
explain
object,
it.
just object.
No, because it's more than a banal, vanilla form objection. This witness is here as a custodian, and I think that we all understand the parameters by which this examination is to proceed. If you want to ask her questions about documents, you can do so, but you're now asking her, is she 100% sure of certain facts relevant to this case having nothing to do with the production of documents? You're asking her about...
Let me rephrase it.
Fine. Then I won't object.
Are you 100% sure, Ms. Schneider, that there are no documents in the possession or custody or control of Lookout that do not reveal a live appearance by Mr. Dillon post-August 6th?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And by by that? Okay. And just tell me how you can be sure, or how you are sure.
I've searched all of our files pertaining to his 1988 tours and produced them.
Okay. And how many such files are there, ma'am?
I would say probably somewhere between 10 and 12 files.
And are they file folders like this sort of folder?
The majority of them are file folders like that. There was one which I call a show file, which is a brown sort of, I don't know how to, it's got the prongs. One of them was that.
Okay. And in 1988, would these documents reveal who the booking agent was for Mr. Dillon?
It has the company. There is, in the documents, there's the booking sheets from ICM. I don't know if it lists the agent on it, but...
Okay, so if it's ICM, that's all I need. Would the documents reveal who, if anyone, from Lookout Management accompanied Mr. Dillon on the tour?
No.
They would not reveal that?
No.
But would someone's documents reveal that at Lookout, for example?
No, there was nothing that did in the files.
All right, let me just, if I may.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. The person you mentioned, who was one of the managers at Lookout, that you were assistant to, what was his name?
Frank Gironda.
Okay. I take it you did not look through Mr. Gironda's 1988 calendar, or did you?
Not his calendar, no. But all of his files were in the boxes.
Okay. So, are you confident that there are no documents that reveal that Mr. Gironda ever accompanied Mr. Dillon on any date in 1988? For example, his personal calendar.
No, I'm confident. Yes, I am confident that there are no documents,
Including his personal
including his personal calendar. Yes.
calendar. Is that simply because you know that the way Lookout Management operates, it would not have sent someone on tour? Is that why?
No, I'm not saying that he wasn't sent on tour. I'm saying there are no documents that relate to it. Mr. Gironda at that time did not keep a personal, I, as his assistant, did not keep a calendar for him. So it's not documented as to...
How was his schedule managed if he did not have a calendar or an appointment book? Did he use someone else's appointment book?
No, he just sort of...
Winged it?
Yeah.
Okay, what is his name again? I'm sorry.
Frank Gironda.
G-I-R?
O-N-D-A.
Okay, thank you. But you did look through all of any files that he may have had?
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
all I'm getting at. Okay. Okay, I need to take 3 or 4 minutes to go through these, so if you want
Take as much time as you need.
stretch your legs,
need
Ms.
to go,
Schneider, get some air.
Move my car, actually.
The time is 12:26 p.m.
Yeah, it's down around the corner.
The time is 12:26 p.m. and we're going off the record. The time is 12:36 p.m. and we are back on the record.
Ms. Schneider, did you make any decision to redact anything from these documents?
No, I did not.
Okay. Counsel, could you enlighten me as to
Yes.
what categories were redacted?
Yes, on the documents bearing the heading ICM, I redacted certain financial information as the headings on top of the redactions indicate, relating to, those are the documents headed International Creative Management Music Department Itinerary Report. What I redacted were the fee and percentage and gross receipts income figures, which obviously have nothing to do
Okay,
with
I'm
this
not-
case. And the second category of redactions was much more limited on some of the itinerary sheets, which list the hotel, etc. There were some hand notations having nothing to do with itinerary, one or two perhaps, that were redacted.
Okay. And am I correct in inferring that the only information you redacted from any of the documents, not just the ICM music department documents, were financial?
No, you're not correct.
Okay, what other general categories were redacted?
There were. I'll look at the
Thank you.
original documents.
Okay.
Which I don't have them. There were items, handwritten notations relating to two. My partner reminds me. Two handwritten notations relating to. Matters having nothing to do with the schedule, but having to do with other management issues that don't relate to where Mr. Dillon was performing or what his itinerary was. So those were redacted.
On what grounds?
Nothing controversial.
On grounds.
Well, they simply weren't relevant. So rather than
Since when is relevance the lodestar?
or responsive. That portion of the document had no bearing on the request you
Well,
made.
Give me the general category so I know whether to take up Judge Rosen's time or not. Did it relate to a dentist appointment? Did it relate to...
Oh, yeah, one had to do with the personnel, my partner's reminding me, one had to do with the personnel issue, having to do with following up concerning one of the tour members having personnel-related matters.
Did it identify a tour member? The name of a tour member?
There was an individual of a person who was on the tour.
That's certainly relevant.
Who-
That's not only responsive, it's relevant since, as you know, in this litigation,
Okay, the name was Jim Callahan.
Right.
Jim Callahan.
Okay.
Jimcallahan. And then there was a notation underneath it concerning a private personnel matter that had to be dealt with that has nothing to do with this lawsuit.
Okay.
So Jim Callahan was the name.
Okay.
If you want, I can produce you that document with his handwritten name in it and just redact out the
No,
other
that's
part,
not
which
necessary.
was a private matter.
I'll
The
take
other,
your word that that's the person's
you can
name.
take my word for it. The other one was appeared to be a request for tickets by an individual with that individual's home phone number or some other personal
And is that
identifying
individual
information.
someone who works?
No, it's an outside person who wanted tickets.
And that person was not backstage?
Was not, as far as I know, was not backstage, but certainly hasn't. His name has not come up in this litigation, and no reason to believe he was at any of the concerts at issue.
Okay. And that's it?
That's it.
Okay. Ms. Schneider, we had spent a few minutes at the beginning, and I'm not trying to trick you with this, so don't.
Jim Callahan, whose name was redacted from the file by Orin Snyder, was Bob Dylan's longtime head of security and bodyguard for Bob Dylan, as per Google AI. See narrative in the website for an explanation of Jim Callahan's involvement pertaining to Bob Dylan's concert at Jones Beach. Orin Snyder was well aware of Jim Callahan's involvement in Bob Dylan's schemes to steal James Damiano's songs. In fact, it was Orin Snyder's job to know the true facts of the case. As Dylan's lead attorney, Orin Snyder would have had to interview everyone who was with Bob Dylan backstage at Jones Beach. No one would have lied to Orin Snyder. You could also rest assured that Orin Snyder's personal curiosity would have demanded the truth. Mr. Snyder's smoking gun objective to maim the truth by concealing and redacting Jim Callahan's identity was as blatant and nefarious as all his other behavior during the procedures.
I think I am. You said you were positive that there were no documents that revealed that Dylan performed after August 6, 1988. Let me show you some documents that you produced and ask you if you need to amend your testimony.
I thought the question was other than the documents which were produced. Wasn't that your question?
Wasn't the question. And I'd like... I mean, is this just like you get to object to whatever you want to when it's my deposition, and when it's your deposition, I'm not allowed to object unless it's privileged? I just want to know what the ground rules are, because if that's the ground rules,
if you want, we can
then
take
I
a
know.
prance through. We can take a prance through the deposition transcripts of depositions that I've taken, and we can take that prance, and you will see that oftentimes, sometimes helpfully, sometimes not helpfully, you interjected. And that's simply what I'm doing here.
You could count the number of times I've objected in your deposition so far on one hand.
This wasn't objecting. This was a clarifying comment.
Ma'am, all I'm getting at is, am I safe to assume that even though on the first page...
Yes, these are dates after August 6th.
Okay.
And my understanding of the question, and I apologize if I did misunderstand the question, was that the documents that I produced were all the documents pertaining to the 1998 concert schedule, and in fact they are. So,
Okay. So for some reason...
So I can't tell you that I know off the top of my head the concert dates in 1988. I do know that I have produced all the documents pertaining to the concert dates in 1988.
Okay. All I'm getting at is that even though the post-August 6 dates don't appear on this first page, that doesn't mean
that does not mean, no, that there were not. There are dates, and obviously you have the information on those dates in your hand.
And those dates did take place?
Yes, they did.
Okay,
yes.
That's all I want to get clear. Okay, let me show you one document that pertains to September 10, 1988, Waterloo Village, and ask if you could help decipher that for me. There's a gentleman's named Percy Leach. Is that the promoter?
To the best of my knowledge, I mean, that is the category he's listed under. That would have been either the promoter, or it would have been our contact at the promoter's office.
Okay, have you ever spoken to Percy Leach?
No, I haven't.
Thank you. Okay, so the items that are remaining, counsel, are whether you're going to produce, first, obviously, you can search through it yourself, Mr. Roberts' appointment books to see if there's any reference.
Do you want to ask? Should we ask the witness? I'm just curious. Do you want to ask the witness, or I'll ask her whether I've never asked her whether Mr. Roberts' books and calendars that she's aware of, in fact, contain notations related to Mr. Dillon's professional activities? She'd be the one tasked.
Well, since she indicated that she's only been Mr. Roberts' assistant, as I understand it, since October of last year, she may not.
She said, I think her testimony was that in the earlier years she was certainly aware of what the notations were as someone in the office.
All right. For example, if Mr. Roberts was going to have a meeting with Mr. Dillon to discuss something professionally, that would be listed, wouldn't it? Sure.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I would ask that be produced promptly.
Certainly.
subject to
Sure.
getting a hold of Mr. Are those their files in storage, right?
His schedules, no. His schedules would have been sent over to the business manager. And as far back as 1980, I don't know that they are in existence.
We'll make all inquiries of everyone who might have any of his calendars.
Certainly.
You'll send me copies of what exists, and then I'll go
Certainly.
through it, and I'll produce anything subject to
Fair
that's
enough.
responsive.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Schneider. I'm done.
Thank you.
Okay, we have depositions tomorrow, I think, starting at 11?
Yes.
Okay, and is there a reason other than giving you the opportunity to spend the afternoon with the witnesses that we are doing one deposition today and 4 tomorrow?
We're going to another law firm and doing work on another case this afternoon, if you want to know. But beyond that, the reason is, this is off the record, right? Let's go off the record. This doesn't need to be on the record.
Should I go off the record, Counselor?
Well, we can just
Yeah, I
go off
don't
the
want-
record and let me hear it, and then we may go back on the record.
On the video record?
The video can be shut off.
Okay.
We're done with the video.
Today's deposition has used a total of one videotape. The time is 12:46 p.m. and we're going off the record.